When you jump out of a plane, there's a ripcord you can pull to help bring you to safety. When you're sitting in an airplane and an issue arises, an oxygen mask comes down to help you. When it comes to communication, you need to have a back pocket question. A back pocket question is simply a question that you have thought about in advance that you can use if you're in an urgent situation where you need one. Let me give you 3 examples where a back pocket question can help you. Imagine you're running a meeting, giving a presentation, and you blank out. You can't remember what to say next. In this case, a question can come to the rescue. This happens to me sometimes when I teach. I teach the same class multiple times. I can't remember, did I cover this in this class or that class? And I can be, in a moment, frozen with what to say next. In those moments, I simply ask my students a question. I'll say something like, let's pause for a moment, and I'd like for you to think about how what we've just covered can be applied in your life. That's my back pocket question. And when my students hear that back pocket question, they're not thinking, oh, he forgot. Instead, they're thinking about, how can I apply this to my life? It actually connects them to my material more. And in those moments where they're thinking of the answer to my question, I can get myself back on track. A back pocket question can help you when you blank out. Think about what could you ask in a generic way that can help you buy some time to think. Another place a back pocket question comes in handy is during Q&A. Have you ever had one of those situations where you say, are there any questions about the topic I just covered? And there's silence. Nobody has a question, or nobody's willing to ask a question. There are many reasons why people don't ask questions. Maybe they're nervous. Maybe they don't want to look stupid. Maybe they just don't want to go first. Here's where a back pocket question can come in. A question you've thought about in advance. I wait. When I see nobody's responding, I simply say, a question I'm often asked is, or a question that you might have on your mind is, and then I ask my back pocket question. By doing this, you get that first question out there, making it more likely that others will ask questions. And if nobody does, at least one question was answered during your Q&A, which makes it feel more complete. Now, I have one bit of advice. If you ask yourself a back pocket question, make sure you know the answer to it. The final situation where a back pocket question can help you is when you're doing an interview or moderating or having a conversation. Having a question that you can rely on to keep the conversation going can be really helpful. These are generic open questions that you have at the ready. It might be something like, could you tell me more about that? Or what makes you feel or think that way? Or what would you do next? These are back pocket questions I am ready to ask if I'm in a situation where I need to follow up to keep the conversation going. Using questions to help you in challenging situations can be very, very helpful and appropriate. Consider preparing back pocket questions in advance.